Hello,
Hello,
good evening.
Lionel. Good evening. Well, let's just gonna wait for Sergio.
And I'm
I
here.
think he's
Oh,
there as
wonderful.
well.
Today, Facebook, it was very fast. It's like the weather is improving very much. Okay, so let's start.
Yes,
Hello,
let's start.
everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcoming. Good evening from Portugal, the sunny Portugal now, and we are about to start our Monday live session. So, with me, Leonel Rodrigues from Desirable Portugal tours based in Lisbon area. Sergio Costa, the guy with roots in Douro Valley from AV Tours, and of course myself, Gabriel Lima from GL Tours. And we are just about to start today our Monday live session. I want to invite everyone to comment, to participate. This should be a interactive chat, and we're gonna start with Lionel. Lionel, ready? Let's go.
Yes. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Leonel Rodrigues from Desirable Portugal Tours, and I want to start with some heads up. Well, first of all, good evening to all of the ones that are commenting. Special thanks for Claudio Costa that made a post, well, in other groups about it. A subject that I'm going to talk today that is about Sintra, because Sintra is one of our crown jewels. Sintra is one of our most visited places, and we have some recent updates about mobility and accessing Sintra. I even have plenty of videos on my YouTube that I need to say for what's going on over there at the moment. Some of them are not updated because they were made last year. And Sintra, in the aftermath of the weather events we've been having, is facing some challenges, and it has all to do with access and mobility in the town, mainly to access some of the main monuments. So, what is going on over there in Sintra? One of the most visited monuments, it's the Pena Palace. It's on the top of the mountain. Right next to it, we have the Moorish Castle, and technically there is no road access to the top for now. So for everyone that is thinking on driving into Sintra, and I can't really stress this out enough, don't do it, because now the road to access the Pena Palace, it's definitely closed. Originally it was only for authorized vehicles, but a lot of people really, didn't care much about the signage. But now it's not possible to drive towards the Pena Palace and the Moorish Castle. More than that, on the same road, we have, on the same road, no, on the area that is closed in the town, it's also limiting the access towards Quinta da Regaleira and towards the Montserrat Palace, although there is something that I need to go to the field and check over there. So Montserrat Palace, let's see how are the accesses around there in the next few days. But yes, what's going on now? Sintra Town Hall, Sintra Civil Protection, and also Parques de Sintra Montes da Lua, so the entity that regulates and manages the majority of the monuments in Sintra, has issued some alternatives. And even that it looks feasible, the alternative to drive up towards the viewpoint of Santa Eufemia and from there walk towards the Pena Palace, first of all, there's no parking over there. There were 7 or 8 spots available. Nowadays, I believe that those spots might not be available at all. And pretty much the road to get to that section, it's a twisty and narrow road with around 20% of incline, if not more, where in most of the roads, two vehicles will have hard time to cross with each other. So this leaves you with not many alternatives than walking a lot to see those monuments. Of course, there will be some people trying to provide transportation as close as possible. Thank you, Claudio. That's what I wanted to check about Montserrat. I believe that from Colares it would be possible, but I really wanted to go there and check on site. because from that side I didn't get recent updates. I was there last week and I could not check that. But thank you for confirming what I was expecting. And this is how we work here. Claudio is also one of the professionals on the field, and we all try to help each other. So going back to where I was, a lot of people will offer transportation towards the closest spots of the Pena Palace, Santa Eufemia, but it's still a good 10-minute hike. I would not call it a walk. I would call it a hike to go from that spot to the entrance of the Pena Palace. And in fact, it goes up and down. There's some, a little bit of a walk in the trail might be muddy. There's some stairs made with wooden beams, but it's a nice side of the mountain that a lot of people don't visit, but it's not a direct access from Santa Eufemia towards the entrance of the Pena Palace Park. So this will add more time to visit Sintra. This will add some unexpected situations. Mobility, it's not easy from there. And it seems that there is a possible option with small buses to get towards the Pena Palace on the 434 line. But if they are using small buses, and the buses that they used before were already, always packed, with smaller buses, this will lead to plenty of delays in Sintra. Now, let's get to the positive note about this. There are other monuments that are very relevant to visit in Sintra. The National Palace, of course, the one in the town center with the big chimneys, that is incredible in its history. Beester Palace, the Hidden Gem, it's still very easy to visit from the town center. Quinta da Regaleira, most people would be walking there anyway, so pretty much it didn't change much. You will need to walk from the town center anyway to go to Quinta da Regaleira. So Sintra, it's still up and running. Sintra, it's still worth to visit, and of course it's a beautiful place to go. Just the heads up about what's going on with the monuments in the mountain or trying to access by car to the other ones. There are, in fact, these restrictions. We don't know for how long. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff that sometimes it's temporary, it's, definitively temporary. But we hope that things get sorted soon, because weather is getting better, and of course, more and more people want to visit Sintra. But in the other hand, there's still a lot of stuff to do over there. Best advice if you want to visit the Royal Palace and you have mobility issues. In fact, Queluz National Palace, that it's halfway from Lisbon to Sintra, it is totally worth it. Okay, so attempting to go to Sintra with these restrictions nowadays won't be easy. In Queluz, it's a great option if you are not able to walk into steep inclines and such. Now, we, the professionals that really know how to move around, sometimes we are caught with these surprises as well. But of course, we know the alternatives. And regarding Sintra, I'm from the time where with Land Rovers, we would go to many other places in the mountain that now there's no access, it has been closed. So I pretty much know it like the back of my hand. I would be very glad to help anyone that is trying to sort out the situation to visit Sintra. But as I mentioned earlier, the news are not so good, and this will need some replanning. This will need some extra time. This will need some plan B, because from one day to the other, things can change. Because the civil protection is assessing the safety here and there in the mountain. So my best advice is be very cautious on planning your travels based on information from months ago or from last year. That technically it's mostly outdated at the moment, and pretty much this is what is going on. Okay. Answering to Laura, drive from Porto to Lisbon at this point. Yes, in fact, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So the A1 is closed near Coimbra. The detour through Coimbra, it is possible, so exiting on Coimbra South and entering on Coimbra North, or vice versa, depending on where you come from. It is possible, but expect delays. Best advice, take the A17 through the Aveiro region towards Lisbon, so A7, technically from Porto to Lisbon, A1, A25, A17, and on that on the road for sure. So that's what I'm going to do. But yes, it is very easy to do so, and there's really no issue to do Lisbon to Porto, Porto to Lisbon. What is having some hiccups are still the trains. Okay, the trains are still having some restrictions here and there, but the roads are totally fine. And I'm gonna pass the ball towards my colleague Gabriel from the Algarve, because in the Algarve, in here things are moving and things are good, but in the Algarve they didn't feel so much the effects of the recent weather events, and things are all up and running. So on a positive note, Portugal, it's still up and running. Some more localized areas were affected, but it is totally worth to come and to visit. And it seems that you have been having a little bit more sun than we do over here, Gabriel.
Yes, and today it was a very good example of that. So I went for the 5th time with these wonderful people. They came from Canada, and they're gonna stay until March the 3rd. And in the morning it was a little bit overcast, and then when the sky cleared up, we got 20, 21 Celsius, so what, 70s in the afternoon. So I just posted on our group. I like to do this so people, they can check what I'm talking about too. And most people, they were wearing t-shirts, so it was quite good, no wind at all. And yes, in the past 3-4 days, it's been already very good. Even last week, we were also hit by rain, some winds, but this time it was not as bad as in Leiria, Coimbra. We had some floods 2 weeks ago in Silves, but last Saturday I went for a concert there, the Feira da Laranja, so the Orange Fair. It was everything 100% working. I know Alcotim, the water already went to the normality, let's say. And I would say that in the Algarve, this is a place where I work, and everything is operational. But we need to be cautious, we need to be careful, because of course, I didn't go everywhere. I know what I have to avoid, but I would say that sometimes, we are professionals, we are locals, we rely on tourism. I know some partners, they run businesses related with, for instance, visiting the caves and grottos. So when people, they ask me, Gabriel, the roads, they are okay. The roads are perfectly fine. Everything is operational. But when people, like today, they ask me, Gabriel, what do you think about the boat trips to the caves? For me, this is very hard to answer, because if I say, I saw the ocean, it was flat today, so the ocean is okay. But the caves, the cliffs, are they okay? I mean, I can't tell you that, right? Because after such a severe storm and rain, and still heavy, still soaked, even today, I was seeing some floods here and there, not as much as a week ago. And it's very tricky. I wouldn't go to visit the caves today. The other day, I walked very close to the cliffs by Falésia. Last week, I walked by Sagres, but it's a bit scary. I don't get too close, because I've been seeing here in Albufeira, where I live, but last week, Carveiro, Algar Seco, the boardwalk, in the Algar Seco, the stairs, they were closed, and I saw rock fall there, so it might be dangerous. So I would say that people, today they can enjoy the Algarve, but they have to be very careful with these things. Cliffs, especially cliffs, grottos, and caves. And of course, when people, they are driving on their own, they don't know the roads. they have to be careful too because sometimes we have hills and we have walls. Many of these we call here valados, these walls made with the stones. Some stones sometimes they roll over the roads. So it's not a time to give up, but at the same time, as a local, what I have to say is be careful. Of course. And now I'm gonna do some kind of a pitch, but like my guests, they feel comfortable with me because I know exactly where to go, what to avoid. When we drive in a place, I wouldn't be so comfortable if I was driving now, I don't know, in Manteigas or Pinhão. I wouldn't feel comfortable because I don't know the areas like Sergio knows, or like in Sintra. I wouldn't go to Sintra maybe driving on my own because I like to explore to, I don't know. So what can I say is keep asking us here on Portugal Unplugged and other groups too, but here on Portugal Unplugged, because we are always willing to help you. And even though we are business people, we try to help people to stay away from trouble. Okay, so if people they ask me, Gabriel, do you think I can drive and explore the Algarve driving my car? Yes, but be careful. Don't park too close to the cliffs. Don't walk where there's mud, or don't go under the caves now. I think you should give at least 1 week or so. This is not popular, but this is what I think. So just be careful. And if you don't feel so comfortable, just hire a guide. There's a few good guides here in the Algarve, not just me. There's some other good guides in the Algarve. So if you don't feel comfortable, just hire a guide. And I'm pretty sure in 1, 2, 3 weeks, everything is gonna be fine. So this is another thing that people they keep asking. So Gabriel, in general, but Gabriel, how is gonna be the weather in May? Do you think the Algarve today is already okay? And I'm pretty sure even the A1. I read on the news that in 2 weeks they're gonna open the highway. So I'm pretty sure that the whole country in 3-4 weeks is gonna be operating. And again, we've been talking about these flooded areas like Coimbra, Moro Velho, Alcácer. Alcácer, I just watched on the television the mayor, and I think it was the president, and they were saying, the mayor, he was saying something like, if the tourists, if people, they don't come to Alcácer do Sal soon, if we don't have a good summer, we won't survive. So our appeal is don't give up, and in 2-3 weeks everything is going to be fine. So just travel to Portugal, because the people this year we are already known as a warm and welcoming people, but I know my people too. So when people they struggle and they restart, we feel even more the motivation. We feel grateful. Yeah, this happens a lot. I remember after the pandemic, when the pandemic just finished, the first tour I made, I almost cried. I was so grateful for people to be there with me. So this is my suggestion. Keep coming. Just be careful in areas like Sintra, and for sure Douro Valley. You know quite well, Sergio. Very hilly, the mountains. For sure, you have some good tips and suggestions and advices. So I'm just going to throw the ball to you, and then later maybe I'm going to add something else.
Well, thank you, Gabriel. Good evening, everyone. Well, here's my update about the north of the country right now. And obviously, these guys, they like to leave me with the steaming hot potato in my hands, because they know that the north of the country is always the most challenging bit. So actually, we're getting a little bit of the remnants of the storm. So we had a very sunny Saturday, and the not so good looking weather is once again back over here, but this is basically just normal for this time of the year in the north. So we're not talking extraordinary storms or anything like that, just a drizzle, a little bit of fog, something that is completely expected over here in the north of the country, in the Porto, in Douro Valley, and even further up north. Speaking of which, places where I wouldn't venture out because, well, to be honest, it's probably not the best idea to engage in outdoor activities right now, particularly in the middle of nature and without any knowledge of the current situation at those locations. National Park of Peneda Gerês, very beautiful during the summer. During the winter, maybe not so much. There are some interesting things to see over there, but there is a lot of hiking involved over there, and there are some waterfalls. And with some of the trees have sustained damage over there, so the north of the country tends to be quite a bit more hilly, and so these phenomenons of bad weather are a little bit more exacerbated. As for the rest, I would say this is pretty much it. This is the only thing that I wouldn't venture out right now, at least on my own. The rest, the Douro Valley, I have seen some videos and some photographs taken today by some of my friends who live over there. And I can tell you that the water level on the river is quite high. We've never seen, or in recent years, we haven't seen anything like that recently, at least. But it's manageable. The roads are open, except for some more tricky situations that I mentioned during the last live session. But just exercise some caution. And going back to what Lionel was saying, um, it's very easy to get lost over there in some of the hills. For example, if one of the main access roads is closed, I wouldn't advise people to venture over there and just, oh, I'll just get onto this detour and hope that the GPS will recalculate my itinerary or something like that, because you don't know where that's going to take you through. You don't know that there's a closure a little bit further up the road, further up the hill, whatever that is. Gabriel, you were mentioning about rock slides, mudslides. It's very common for that to happen over there at the Douro Valley every winter, even when we have years with relatively good weather, good winters, not so rainy, not as stormy as this one was, we still have our fair share of rock slides over there. So it can be a little bit tricky. Uh, I'm seeing Pat putting some thumbs up and some hearts over here on the stream. She does remember very well our drive out of the valley to get to the Porto Antigo Hotel. And I can tell you, Pat knows, it's kind of like that we're experiencing over there. And it's bad weather, a little bit of fog, thick fog, actually. And well, with the added danger of not knowing in which condition the roads are. So it was definitely a little bit challenging, even with roads in under good condition. So with the roads with uncertain conditions, it's going to be definitely a little bit more challenging. My advice for people wanting to go to the valley, the train is not going over there. The boats are definitely not working because the river, the Douro River, is right now extremely strong. Um, just if you want to drive, stick to the main roads. Don't try to do anything crazy. If there's that one vineyard that you wanted to go to, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I know a few of those, I wouldn't venture out to those vineyards myself at this point in time. And if you want to have a more safe and relaxed experience, it's probably better to just, and if you still want to go to the Douro Valley, venture a little bit further east. Go to the Douro Superior around Foscova, different wineries over there, different types is different. How should I say? Types of wine, different experiences. You have the engravings. You have small medieval towns, Freixo de Espada-Cinta, Figueira de Castelo Rodrigo, places that we've been touting a lot over here in Portugal Unplugged, but unfortunately not a lot of people know about. Not a lot of people venture out there. And those locations are where it's shining right now. Last but not least, I don't want to leave this on a very grim note, but I want on the upside. We are already starting to see some sunny days on the forecast later this week. We're going to have a little bit of cloud coverage on Saturday. The weekend over here in Porto, it's supposed to be 100% sunny. Monday, it's going to be a little bit cloudy once again, but this is just standard for this time of the year over here in the north. In terms of weather, the north always has this thing that it takes a little bit longer compared to the rest of the country to recover. But well, we're getting there, and we're going to have our fair share of sunny days really, really soon. So things will go back to normal. While Portuguese people are resilient, uh, we as a people, we as towns, countries, etc., we are very resilient. Sure, there might be some rock slides, mudslides here and there, but well, those are going to be fewer and fewer and far in
Yeah.
between. So I would say that we've already been through the worst. Now it's time to recover, to open up businesses, and to do what we love the most, which is sharing our country with people who are willing to visit us. And well, this time you're going to hear stories about how we brave the storms in the different areas over here in the country, what happened, and so that's going to add to the experience. So yeah, Pat is saying us that it is the one to travel to the door with. He's know those roads. Parts are very exciting. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
but he is a great driver. Well, a little bit of a teaser. Well, Pat, um, it wasn't with Pat, but well, at least unlike Gabriel, I don't take wrong turns in the roads, and Gabriel
No,
knows what I'm talking
no.
about.
Sometimes I fail. Even last week, I failed the exit. But this is why because I love so much my guests. I just want to spend a bit more time with them.
Yep. But I always say that it's not an adventure unless we ourselves get a little bit lost, but we know our bearings, we know
Yeah,
where we are.
yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes if we don't
Uh,
say a word, people wouldn't even know it. But sometimes
no,
all I
no.
can
But
say,
I rather to say, okay, I just missed a turn. I go there and then I show the roundabout. It's just grass, and then I say, this is the most beautiful roundabout. It happens, right? So we are humans. So
it happens to
we are
everyone.
driving and talking, and sometimes we skip the exit, or we just
Perfectly normal.
forget a guest or something, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Just kidding,
same
huh?
thing. Same thing. We get so excited with the conversation, and the things are
Yeah,
going so well, so smoothly that well, we sometimes lose our ways, and we have our internal GPS saying, "No, you took a
yeah.
wrong turn, and you should have gone that way." But it's
Even when we
fairly
are
normal.
driving, even when we are driving alone, right? I want to go
Yeah,
to the gym, and then I am already going to the beach or something. I don't know.
oh, yeah.
It
It
happens
does
with
happen.
everyone.
For
Yeah,
example, when I'm sometimes driving home after doing a drop off, well, sometimes it happens that I park at home and I don't even remember a thing that happened on the drive between downtown Porto and home. So it's very common. It's
yeah.
very common. But we as locals, we have this thing where we are so in tune with the roads that we take. We
Mm,
know them like the back of our hand. That for us, it's completely natural to do it. So for us, it's natural. It's a little bit more stressful when we have these situations of road closures because of rock slides, because there was an accident, because something happened. It doesn't take a storm for us to have to pivot on a moment's notice and do something different. So that's the reason why we say that for people who are coming over here with a rented car in a foreign country, and on top of that, they have to experience a difficult situation. You're on holidays, you want to relax, and the least of your concerns should be how am I going to get there? How long does it take me to get there? Is there a road closure? There going to be an accident or a rock slide or something like that? So we are here to help. We'll do our best to help everyone with advice. But well, if you want the ultimate relaxation, well, guided tours are one of the ways to go because, well, unfortunately, right now, and I speak from my experience, going to the Douro Valley, we're a little bit short on options. No cruises are happening. The Douro line, the train track, only is operating between Porto and Marco de Canaveses, so that falls short of the Douro Valley by something like 40 to 50 kilometers on a straight line. And well, driving is the only option, and it doesn't matter if you are renting a car or taking a tour. But if you want to see the Douro Valley, driving is now the only realistic option. So this was it. This was my update over here from the north. Things are definitely getting better. We're starting to see quite a bit more sun in the horizon. No pun intended on this one. But the Douro Valley is still relatively untouched, but we still have to take some precautions to get there because on normal winters, when I say untouched, I mean that on normal winters, these things already happen. This was an unusual winter for us, or at least in recent years. So these things have happened quite a bit more frequently. So take your precautions, ask your questions, and if you don't feel confident, we're here for you and hoping
Exactly.
to see everyone in the near future, or even who knows, in a couple of months, maybe a little bit more towards the end of the year. So this was me. Any final thoughts from you guys?
Yeah,
Well,
you first.
Pretty much you summed it up a lot. So we try our best. We have our local knowledge. We always, sometimes we take a plan B and the guests don't even notice that we are taking a plan B because plan A was not working. And now more than ever, the local knowledge, it's precious because the information that people have, written, posted online, whatever, was from a slightly different reality from what we have. Just to give you an example, you and me, Sergio, we both drive EVs. And yesterday I was checking someone trying to do a trip from one point to the other to the country, and the EV route planner was still sending him through the highway in Coimbra. So these are the things that we need to know locally, as things are not really working, and we need to take our detours, our alternatives. And those things, not all of them are posted or updated on Google Maps or Waze or whatever.
Yeah.
So sometimes these kind of things really need the local knowledge to make it work.
Yes.
But things are getting sorted. Things are getting better. And in fact, we hope this year to have a great spring, super blossom, probably super bloom because
Yes.
of all the water we had. So it will be beautiful to visit. And we are here to help. So anything that you want to ask, anything that we can be helpful, feel free to post here on the group. And for sure, we will try our best to give you all the insights. So this is me pretty much what I wanted to share today. I will be on the field in the next few days. Tomorrow already mentioned I will be on the road, and there will be.
We're still suffering a little bit from the link
On your
quality
visits,
over.
don't cancel. We are here just up and running, and we're here to really help you to have the greatest time over here. Gabriel, final thoughts.
Yeah, well done, Vitor. So I can see people, you are working too. I'm gonna have 3 tours this week. Tomorrow I'm gonna rest, and then I'm very excited to go to Silvergé, but mostly to Monchique, because after the storms I didn't go there, and I know there will be water blowing from everywhere. Just like I saw today in Tavira, the spring, I've never seen so much water, and the blossom is absolutely amazing here. It really looks like April already. So then on Thursday, I'm going off the beaten path. So I'm going to take some fellow friends. They are coming. They have their own rent-a-car, but they're going to book me precisely to go to these off the beaten path routes that, you know, people, they don't know. And for sure, the springs and the falls, it's going to be amazing. And then on Friday, I'm going to have, let's say, I call a standard tour, because people, they are staying in Albufeira and they want to visit the beautiful Carvoeiro and the beautiful Lagos. And even there, especially by Ponta de Piedade and by the Algar Seco rock formation, we need to be a bit careful. We need to be a bit cautious. And I'm always there. Sometimes I'm a bit hyper alert, because, you know, I've been seeing this, maybe because I'm a hiker and a cyclist, and I know it's very easy to fall. I'm kind of an expert on that, so I always try to help people too. So it's gonna be a great week, and it's gonna be a good spring. I've seen many people today in Tavira, Santa Luzia. I've been seeing people in Albufeira too. I'm quite happy. I'm a bit confident. I know some people, they canceled their trips because they were scared. I think it was legit too, but we and many other guides around here and many people who are staying here, we are trying to pass this confidence to people to not give up and to come, because it's going to be maybe the most beautiful spring in the recent years, at least here in the Algarve. I know in Minho, Douro Valley, it's always green, but here, after such a big drought, seeing so much green and water everywhere, it's going to be absolutely, absolutely amazing. So guys, from my hand, it's just time to say goodbye, and we're gonna be back here on Monday for another live session. I'm just gonna invite people to keep posting your questions. whatever you want to ask about advices or itineraries, whatever, just keep posting because we are here to help you. Not just not just three of us, but the group is growing, and we have already here some, let's say, loyal followers, and they have knowledge. So we are here to help you. So just keep, well, just trust us, and we're gonna try to help you as much as we can. So from my end, I just want to say goodbye. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, everyone.
Have a great evening and a great
Thank you.
week,
Have
everyone.
a great week. See you next Monday.
See you next
Have
Monday.
a great week. Bye-bye.